But now I have the pleasure of introducing. I'm excited. I can't lie, I'm very excited. It's not often that I get really, really excited about an act. Somebody who I know goes by the name of Amanda Starr. She tweeted up this video, yeah. And I'm just like, bruv, who's this? Literally, it was 20 seconds. I was like, who is this? I searched YouTube, everything. Got in touch with her. Been banging out her tune. Even made it on the New Star Radio playlist. And we have her live in the studio. She goes by the name of Lauren Ackie. Welcome to Birmingham.
Thank you.
You like your little intro there?
Yeah.
That's the nicest I'm going to be, you know. I ain't going to be nice no more.
Man.
She's just been bullying me throughout the whole show. Her and Tia. Tia's meant to be on my team.
Don't mention my name.
What? Wow.
Woo.
Don't mention my name.
It's getting heated in here, guys.
I know. But anyway, let's start off the interview. Lauren, now, how did you get involved in music?
I've actually been singing since I was young. So I grew up in church.
Okay.
And I was like right in the back row of them choirs in them days. I was actually shy when I was younger.
You were shy? Surprising.
Not shy personality wise, but like singing wise.
Okay.
I didn't want to be put on the spot.
So what happened for you to be confident about that and then get in the spot?
I think I just got pushed into it. I can't remember when it happened. I think I was like early teens. So like I started secondary school and I got really lucky actually. My parents kind of noticed my flair for music.
Yeah.
And sent me to a performing arts school.
Okay.
Which like I absolutely hated the idea of at first because like the uniform was green.
Oh.
Like,
was it really old school?
Yeah, it wasn't a thing, man. And they had like skirts in it, and I was a proper tomboy when I was in primary school. So the thought of having to go to school in that skirt, I was like, Mum, please, man, please, why are you doing this to me? But genuinely, I loved it. Like if I could go back to school, I would go back.
So it definitely benefited you.
Definitely.
Because you're somebody that seems to like, you're very in tune with your childhood. Like I was watching your snap, what was it, a couple of days ago, you were there singing kids theme tunes. Like why was it? It was good though, because it was literally tunes like Pokemon. I was hearing riffs and all sorts. Like,
you know what? I never even watched Pokemon when I was younger, but my niece watches it.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's only because my niece watches it that I'm like on the job. But I was never really into it.
How come?
I don't know. Like the whole, just didn't really get it.
Well, one thing I noticed as well from your snaps. Speaking of Pokemon, that's from Japan and that. You're quite an anime fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge anime fan.
See, I do my research.
Huge. I don't want to like fully nerd myself out on radio. Do you know what I mean?
So are you what they call a blurred?
I reckon so.
Yeah. For those that do not know, blurred is a new term for black nerd. It's another term. But going back to the music as well. This Genesis EP, which I was very late on you. And like even when I spoke to you before and I said I was late, and you go, not many people know me, and I'm like, yeah, they do. And literally when I say, I found this Lauren Ackie, she's amazing, and like, yeah, well, you just heard of her, and I was like, okay, I felt quite embarrassed actually. But when I saw Take It, absolutely amazing, the vocals, everything just catches me straight away. But I've got one beef with you.
What is it?
You know what I'm gonna say?
Not long enough.
Why is it so short, man? Literally 2-piece of chorus and it's done.
That's how it needs to be, because it makes you want to reload it. Plus, there's no point padding it out with stuff that's not as good. So like sometimes you just got to keep it short.
But I would ask you like, what's the inspiration behind it? But it's so like to the point.
I think it's kind of obvious.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. To be fair, when I was writing the EP, I wanted it to be like 7 different ways to love, so like 7 different stories.
Okay,
in a
so
sense.
there's a lot of thought behind it.
Well, there wasn't, to be fair, when I wrote Take It. Because Take It was the first one I did that lasted, because I wrote Take It a good, like, maybe year and a half before the EP dropped.
Okay.
And I was just holding it for time, because I was like, yes, this is going to definitely be on there. So I had to kind of model the other tracks around that to make sure it matched the standard. But yeah, I just kind of wanted it to be a different perspective. So, like, track 1 is Drowning on the EP, which is technically like the end of the EP.
Okay.
So tracks 2 to 7 kind of give you an idea of how I got to 1.
Okay.
So Take It's like the start where I'm like, look, this is me, innit? This is what I'm going to put on the table. All you got to do is take it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Keeping it family friendly though. Keeping it family friendly. But one thing about your music is very unique and distinct, and as well as your music as well, your look as well. Like you just stand out straight away. She got little cute little face. She's cute. But she's got like, you've got a very distinct style, and like you know yourself, which a lot of artists don't. They're still kind of finding themselves. Did you find that hard to develop? With knowing yourself, did it happen from young?
To be fair, yeah, I think from young, but I did spend a bit of time a couple of years ago making sure that I was in line with my brand. So because I did start thinking about it once I started doing music properly. And one of my friends actually like proper helped me out. We spent ages and we were like, okay, we're going to do the Lauren Ackie brand now. How are you going to brand yourself? And I didn't really have to change much. I just kind of had to just, finesse a little bit more just to make sure that as an artist, I am me. So when people look at me, they're like, oh, yes, I recognise her. I know who she is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you feel the brand is very important?
I think it's important. I think it's very important because even if people don't remember your music or your songs or your lyrics, they need to remember you.
Yeah. So
when I'm performing, people aren't always going to remember my songs or what type of music I do, but the most important thing is for them to actually remember me. So a lot of the time they'll be like, oh, do you know what, there was a song that I liked but I can't remember it, but I remember her, so let me just quickly search on the Instagram.
It's true,
whatever.
actually.
Do you know what I mean?
It's true, because you're someone
like, or
definitely, because you're someone where if they haven't heard you sing, they will just recognize you just from seeing you straight away. You wouldn't forget you. It's crazy. So let's talk about the EP as well, the Genesis EP. And you had another one before, the Blackout EP, right?
Blackout, yeah.
Now, what's the response been to them? What have you found? Have you found that?
I think maybe Blackout had a bigger response just because it was the first EP that I released. Yeah. So like I didn't really have a lot of music out before I released Blackout. I had a couple like covers and stuff on SoundCloud. But because it was my first project, I think people were more like, oh, let me listen to this. Genesis was a little bit harder to generate as many plays, especially because I put it on like Spotify and everything. So it was like a totally different, because when I first released Blackout, Spotify wasn't really that big of a deal, or like Apple SoundCloud Music and stuff thing. It was all SoundCloud. Yeah. So initially that was just on SoundCloud, and then I added it to Spotify and everything later. So you've noted that. Do you think the introduction of streaming and everything has changed the music game? Yeah, music is totally different than when I was growing up. Like it's crazy, isn't it? It's hard to keep up with sometimes. Yeah. Because I think it's important to make sure that you're as accessible as possible. So while I'd love to just be like, let me just slap it on SoundCloud, if that's not where people are, then there's no point. Definitely. So if everybody's on Apple Music or Spotify, then that's where you need to make sure your music is. Because like people, two people still using Bandcamp and that, but like Bandcamp's still about. I know. Crazy. I was shocked. People still send me Bandcamp links. It's true though. You have to make sure that you're on like every single social network. I can't even keep up myself. Like as a DJ, I know I'm supposed to be using Snapchat as well, but I hate using Snapchat. I don't use Snapchat. I hate it, but that's apparently it's really good. Like, nah. It's Instagram really good, basically does the same thing now. There's no point. True. No point. You got a point there. But you've got a very distinct R&B sound. What are your thoughts on, say, the R&B scene in general and the UK R&B scene? Because you get a lot of people saying, R&B is dead, it don't exist no more. What are your thoughts on that? R&B is very much alive. There is actually quite a big UK scene for R&B. I guess on the outside, like if you're not really in music like that, you probably wouldn't know about a lot of us or hear a lot of our music. But there are actually quite a lot of us. And just through doing music, I've met so many people, especially through social media. Like it's mad. It's crazy. Yeah. That's how we basically. Yeah, I literally met Lilo Gold, the singer Lilo Gold. Yeah. I met her through SoundCloud, literally, because like her song just randomly played when I was listening to something, and then I messaged her and we just ended up like meeting up and being friends and whatever. So like there's a lot of artists that I've met just through either SoundCloud or Twitter or whatever. So you definitely recommend it for any artist? What, SoundCloud? Well, just social media in general. Social media is very important. Yeah, I think it's important to be active on your social media as well. Even if you don't have to tweet every 5 minutes, but I think it's important to make sure that you're active on there. Definitely. Even if you're posting something on your story once in a while or post a picture, like it's important to make sure you have your links in there as well. I can't tell you how annoying it is. Yeah, it's true. Someone messages me and they're like, "Oh, I'm an artist, I do this," and I go on their profile and there's no links. You can't see nothing. Yeah, so you gotta make sure you got links. Speaking of social media, you've had attention from a number of different people. Like I noticed the other day, 7. I know, I was 7. So excited. Oh my gosh! Because she's literally got it was a challenge, wasn't it, for one of her songs, and Lauren Accie's doing a Olympic level singing like the riffs, everything like and then 7 even saw it and commented. How did that make you feel? I was gassed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was gassed. I was pretty gassed. I screenshot it straight away and sent it into the family group chat. I was like, guys, like, stop what you're doing, guys. This is important. But no, I was excited. Definitely. Well, as we are coming to the end of the year now, summer done. Summer is finished. Did we have summer?
for like a total
I
of
feel like
probably
we
2
had
weeks.
summer in June.
We had that bank holiday weekend as well.
Yeah,
So it was one of them.
true.
But what can we? Well, I wouldn't really say this year, but what can we expect to see from Lauren Ackie next year? The world domination.
There's gonna be a lot. World domination definitely is on the list.
Okay.
Pinky in the brain, trying to take over the world and all that.
You know your cartoons, boy. Classic.
I'm working on some new music at the moment. I think I'm probably going to concentrate on singles for a while.
Yeah.
Before I do another project, because Genesis is still quite fresh. So I'm working on a couple of singles that I'm going to be dropping probably next year. I'm going to do some visuals for that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's coming.
So remember when you release this new music to first email on the list?
Don't worry.
First email on there. Definitely, trust me. But I'm going to ask you one last question before you go. And we have a lot of up and coming singers, songwriters, producers, whatever. What advice could you give them based on everything you've experienced?
I think it's just important to be yourself. I find it is quite difficult sometimes, especially being an R&B artist.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a overlooked genre. So sometimes it's difficult because people will want you to be like, do you know what? Why don't you just do a pop thing? Or why don't you just collab with a grime artist? Which is all well and good, but if it's not me, it doesn't make sense.
Definitely.
So I think a lot of the time it's just about sticking to what you want to do. Within reason, because sometimes you might have to do collaborations with people, whatever, and that's fine. But I think it's important to remember what it is that makes you you, what it is that you love about your sound, what it is that you love about music, or even in a broader sense, it doesn't even just have to be music, but in general, what your passion is. I think it's important to stick to it and not let people be like, yeah, maybe you should just do this instead, because it's going to make you more money or it's going to make you pop more.
Okay. Some wise words from Lauren Ackie there.
Yeah.
But what we're gonna
I do my thing.
what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go straight into your minute-long track.
It's 2 minutes. It's like 2 minutes, 10 seconds.
It's too quick, you know. I might have to reload it. Seriously, I might have to reload it. We're gonna go straight into your lead single, but before we do that, I want you to announce all of your socials, your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, release date, Spotify, Apple, everything, and then introduce your track straight after.
Facebook. I think my Facebook is Lauren Ackie Music. I don't use Facebook a lot, but my Instagram is just Lauren Ackie. Ackie is Ackie. People always think it's like Ackie and Saltfish, but it's not spelled the same, guys.
Tasty. That's one of my favorite videos, you know. I love a little bit of Ackie and Saltfish. Anyway, carry on.
Twitter is the same, but with an underscore at the end. Spotify, literally, if you just type in Lauren Ackie, it'll come up. Same on Apple Music as well. SoundCloud as well is the same. I think that's it. I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Would you like to introduce your track?
Oh, yeah. So this is Take It by your very own Lauren Ackie.
This is New Style FM.
Today's jams and the best old school.
The new style. You know it's wicked and wild.